Hey y'all, I'm Kara Perez, founder of Bravely Go. I'm filming in a new location today because it's the holidays and I'm bopping around various family members' homes. That's how I rock. But today we're going to be talking about minimalism and specifically how minimalism has helped me save anywhere between 35 and 70% of my annual income over the last several years. If saving money and sustainable living is your jam, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit subscribe because you are not going to want to miss anything that we put out on this channel. So y'all, let's be real. I think the jig is up that most of the systems that we have in place don't work for the majority of people. 2023 has been an expensive year, and we're all living through once-in-a-lifetime events like every 5 years. More and more people are rejecting the traditional forms of work, relationships, and power structures because we're able to look around and say, hey, this world that we've created, these systems that we've created, don't really work for the vast majority of us. What else is there? And so people are turning to movements like minimalism, slow living, community building, and sustainable living in order to try and find and create lives that actually work for them and their money. So let's talk about minimalism. Let's give it a definition. When I say minimalism, a lot of people are probably thinking just like a closet filled with only black t-shirts and a kitchen with one table and one chair and like one plate. And that's what minimalism is. But that's not what minimalism is. It's not about getting rid of absolutely everything you own except for the bare minimum. Minimalism is really about aligning your lifestyle with your values and getting rid of the clutter, both physical, literal clutter, and the mental and emotional clutter that stands in your way. I definitely consider myself a minimalist. And if you walk into my home, you're going to see a bookcase filled with books. You're going to see art on the wall. You are going to see candles on my coffee table. It's not about having literally nothing in your home, but it is about getting rid of the clutter, physical clutter, as well as the emotional clutter that makes you feel anxious and sad and out of step with your true values. And in the years that I have spent practicing minimalism, it has helped me save a lot of money. Specifically, it's helped me save anywhere between 35 and 70% of my income annually. Those numbers vary so much because I have variable costs like rent and healthcare. I don't own my home, so I move usually once a year chasing cheap rents, and my healthcare, since I am a chronically ill girly, can also drastically change. Now, I work with people one-on-one as a money coach to help them create a budget, create a debt payoff plan, start investing. And one of the questions that I always ask my clients is, what does financial stability mean to you? And never once has someone said, I need $5 million and a 26-bedroom house. Every single person has said some version of financial stability means to me being able to spend my money without anxiety and to be able to live a life that I'm really excited about. Let me know in the comments what financial security means to you. So, how have I been using minimalism to save so much of my income? Well, here are 4 things that I do. Number 1, learning patience with money. Learning patience with money is incredibly difficult to do, especially because we live in a world of buy now, shop now, 1 or 2 day delivery. We live in a world of instant gratification. So it makes a lot of sense that we would apply that mindset to our money. I mean, to quote Ariana Grande, I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. That's how a lot of us approach our spending. But what I do is I try to practice patience with my money by taking a step back. So when I see something and I like it, I think, hold on, let me give myself a couple of days before I go ahead and pull an Ariana Grande and got it. This allows me the chance to look around my home and say, do I really need this? Does this actually fill a need in my life? Is this going to make my life easier and better in some way? It also gives me a chance to look around my home and say, where am I going to keep this thing? I live in a rather small apartment, okay? We have very little storage space. And if I bring more stuff into my home that doesn't have a designated place to live, you know what that means? My house is going to be messier. And I'm already a messy person, okay? Shout out my partner who puts up with my messiness, but I do not need any more stuff that can live in little piles on my floor because I don't know where to put it. You know what I'm saying? So stepping away from this instant gratification mindset allows me to decrease my overall spending, which of course means I'm saving more money. Number 2, focus on building community, not clout. I work online and it's very easy to get caught up in chasing subscriber numbers, follower numbers, income numbers, especially working in the financial space where a lot of people share their personal financial journey and use that as their marketing tools. Like I see a lot of people saying, I'm a millionaire, here's how I did it. or here's how I got to 1 million followers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it is. And hey, yeah, I would absolutely love 1 million followers on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. But I also think to myself, what am I really trying to do with my online presence? Am I trying to build clout or am I trying to build community? And time again, I find myself coming back to, I really want to connect with people around money. I want to talk to people about money. I want to help people with their money. And I also want to have conversations about the economics of our world. So that means I don't need to focus my energy on just increasing followers. I need to focus my energy on actually building community and being in communication with people. Now, taking that offline, I try to do the same thing in my day-to-day life. I host book swaps, I host cookie swaps, which are low-cost ways for people to come and engage with me, and low-cost ways for me to be able to build community. By building these community-centered events into my life, it allows me as an extrovert to meet people and get my social battery charged, and it also allows me time to really connect with people, which is the actual thing that I want in my life. Number 3, shop secondhand. Okay, obviously, I mean, this is kind of 101, but it's really important to consider the impact that shopping secondhand can have, not just on your finances, but on our world in general. We are simply making too much stuff. This is something I've talked about on the channel a bunch, so I encourage you to go find other videos about overconsumption and minimalism here on the channel. But really and truly, y'all, we're making 100 billion new pieces of clothes per year. We're making 80 million new cars per year. We are depleting the Earth's resources faster than we can refill them. That's not good for the planet. That's not good for us. And it also puts us in this financial situation where we're constantly having to buy. And that's overwhelming and for me, very stressful. By shopping secondhand, we're utilizing what's already been made. So we are lowering our need to yoink new resources out of the ground to turn it into cars or clothes. We're saying this already exists and it's perfect for me. It's right for me. That kind of mindset, I think, is also very helpful when it comes to our money and to being satisfied with our current lives. Looking around and saying, wow, I'm so grateful for the things that I already have. I'm so grateful for the people that I already have, helps us feel more content on a day-to-day. And it stops us from feeling like we need to go out and constantly get more, or that we need to change ourselves to constantly be something else or someone else. So to me, shopping secondhand, of course it saves us money, but to me it's also an opportunity to practice contentment. And number 4, cutting out comparison. Listen, y'all, I straight up block, mute, or unfollow people who make me feel like I am in some sort of competition with them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a competitive person by nature. I was an athlete all through high school and college. I don't think that competition is necessarily a bad thing. But I do think that when your competition, your spirit of competition leads you towards the negative, it's time to chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. And it's very easy for us to hop online and look at someone else's home and say, why doesn't my house look like that? Or to look at someone else's children and say, why don't my kids look that way or behave that way? Why don't I have that amount of money in my bank account? Why am I not living in Brazil? Why am I not vacationing in Greece? And these feelings of competition can lead to feelings of resentment, which can lead to overspending in an attempt to catch up to this other person. We can see someone's beautiful home, hop online and buy the same rug, the same lamp, the same chandelier. And now I have a carbon copy of that room. But do I have their life? Do I have their money? Do I have their satisfaction? Is this room that I've just spent $800 creating even my style? Does it make me happier? These are the types of questions that get lost when we are caught up in feelings of competition with other people. And often we end up with a lot of stuff that we don't actually like or we don't really need simply because we thought that it would give us the life that we are thinking we see other people live online. Cutting out feelings of competition is so important to your wealth building journey because I really want you to focus on building the life that you want and making the financial moves that make sense for you. It's not about mimicking what you see other people doing. It's about finding the right financial tools and finding the right satisfaction for your own life. And honestly, to y'all, when it comes to online competition, sometimes we're in competition with people who literally don't even know we exist. It's a one-sided thing, right? We feel competitive with the influencer who has the lake house in northern Michigan or whatever, but that influencer doesn't even know we are people. They don't even know that they are competing against us. And that's not a healthy mindset to have. So these are 4 ways that practicing minimalism has helped me save between 35 and 70% of my income over the last several years. If you practice minimalism, please drop some of your tips, tricks, and habits in the comments so that we can all learn. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comments about my own practices. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you like our content, and make sure to come back every Monday for new videos.